$20-something after being reprinted once. Brainwash Roller is finally doing decent after being reprinted a second time, but Yuika, after just being reprinted a second time very recently, is starting to near $30 again. My problem with these cards is that a lot of players see them as staples that you can run in every deck and that maybe should be in every deck, when in actuality, that's very rarely the actual case. Let's take a look. Hear me out for a second. We're gonna go ahead and just take a look at all of Stoicheia here and just legitimately take a look at if a deck actually needs Inlet Pulse, if it's kind of a valid option, or if it just straight up does not need Inlet Pulse. Because the argument here is that, oh, you're so much better competitively, your deck is so much more competitive, so much more competitively viable if you have this expensive card that is a must-have in every deck. But is that actually the case? Does it actually make that much of a difference? We even have some of the new cards here from Divine Set 1. Right off the top, we're going to just go ahead and throw those in. Does not need Inlet Pulse, because of the fact that while this can do 5 attacks, so Inlet Pulse can actually come up, this is very xenophobic. It needs its Veleno names, so that's not going to be worth it. Cristianos here technically can do 4 attacks, 5 attacks somehow, but it's really only able to do that on turn 4. Inlet Pulse is really not going to help this on turn 3 or any point after turn 3. Flagberg literally actually needs Inlet Pulse because it actually has Flagberg written on the text of the card. Magnolia Elder is a weird one because this is the one that sort of started this whole thing where it's like, oh, Inlet Pulse must be in every Stoicheia deck that can run it because of the fact that one time the cat was really good with the dragon. It's not really the case. They have their own version of Inlet Pulse in the Godot, whereas now Inlet Pulse is like fine. It doesn't really accelerate the game plan for Magnolia, and I think a lot of people are locked on this ancient mentality that this whole thing of riding into Elder, giving you an Inlet Pulse is really good, when in actuality you have to stray away from that, and instead of trying to farm up on a Magnolia Elder, you kind of have to close out your game on Magnolia Elder just because of the way that the current landscape of the game is. So we're just going to throw this into valid inclusion. This guy, Fake Flagberg, he's gonna go here as well just because he does a thing with Tear Dragons, which is actually relating to Flagberg, so we'll put that in there. Then we have ourselves Grand Fia. Grand Fia, I'm gonna say no. He doesn't really need it. He has enough to work with. Honestly, I don't think Inlet Pulse adds anything to that deck. Then we got Zorga. Zorga, technically now, thanks to the Zorga Mask, can technically use Inlet Pulse because it can actually do 4 attacks. But that would be stupid as hell, so we're not going to play that in Zorga. Then we have ourselves Leonorn Mask, as well as Leonorn Vivian, and then all the Leonorns in the Rainbow Gay formation here. Leonorn Mask doesn't need Inlet Pulse. Leonorn Vivace, Versace, whatever, does not need Inlet Pulse. Then all of them combined into a big fusing giant robot, they don't need Inlet Pulse. I don't see how it works out in these decks. You really want something that actually swings, especially in the mass version that doesn't stand the back row, so your front row actually has to hit decent numbers, and the Pulse does nothing here, even if you can actually get 5 attacks. Vivance here stands the whole board and boosts with it. I guess you can technically play the Pulse, but no, fuck that. You don't need that. And then this version is just these two combined, so it's the same thing. Then we got ourselves Claudine. Claudine pretty much cannot play Inlet Pulse because she focuses on playing tokens, but most importantly, restanding those tokens. So technically she gets 4 attacks, but you really want to focus on your tokens specifically, and I don't see what Inlet Pulse would really add to this deck other than like, oh, drawing a card is good. I don't think that's going to work out. Then we got ourselves Rora, who actually has his own, technically, in-engine Inlet Pulse that lets him get a token, as well as Soul. This one's a weird one, because of the fact that this is a rush deck. On the one side, Inlet Pulse doesn't make any sense, because of the fact that you just want to finish the game as quickly as possible. Something that just gives you soul and draw does nothing. On the other hand, this deck notoriously suffers from not being able to have enough soul to do stuff. And then now with the new upgraded Aurora, where you ride and you have to keep the original Aurora in soul, and you technically don't get any plus soul from Persona riding, it's kind of strange. Even then, I'm gonna say that it doesn't actually need it. Doesn't actually need it. Misty Arc? Yeah, Misty Arc Lolols here does not need Inlet Pulse as well. It's kind of similar veins to Veleno here, where it is kind of xenophobic to an extent. You kind of want very specific cards on the field. Inlet Pulse is not one of those specific cards. I guess it would kind of be plausible, but really no. Especially now with the new promo that's out. I don't think Inlet Pulse has any space or function or requirement at this barbecue. Then we've got ourselves Magnolia Mask. Magnolia Mask is a weird one because of the fact that it has the markers. So Inlet Pulse can actually do something for once other than just go to soul and draw, because it can actually be a beefy attacker on a marker. I'm still gonna say no. Then finally we have Bugs. No for Bugs. But we're not done yet. We're gonna go over Swirler. Do the same exact exercise. Honestly, I think the only actual decks that need Swirler legitimately, where it actually benefits their game plan to a competitive degree and it makes the deck better, are Barrow and Althor Slaughter, this guy that everyone forgets exists, because these two actually focus on soul charging, which means Swirler can actually get big. If you're only looking at it from the lens of like, okay, I play Swirler, he gets +5 on place, I get soul, and he's 13k, that's great. There are so many other cards that I'm pretty sure fit whatever requirement it is that you need. It's just the thought of like, oh, big number, bigger-ish number is good. Whereas like here it actually matters. Chaos is hard to say, because he also kind of focuses on soul charging. But at the same time, you play one Swirler. And that's because this is a Highlander deck. So we're going to leave it as a valid inclusion. To Chimera guy, I don't think really needs Swirler, honestly. Because you are more in that sort of like Pale Moony Dark States section where it's not about the number of cards in your soul, it's about the quality of your soul. So we're going to put that here, because it doesn't need to soul charge blindly, it just needs a specific thing in soul, and they just constantly keep cycling that out. That goes the same thing for Lukier. Lukier doesn't give a shit about Swirler. He doesn't do anything in the deck, because she does not soul charge, and doesn't need the soul charging. Okay, I can technically she soul charges from the right line, but whatever, that's different. Likewise, Farvneal does not need that. He has his own ways to get stuff into soul, plus Swirler's grade 1. You want higher grade stuff. I don't think Farvneal and Swirler mix pretty well. Greedon wants his Greedon Mask specifically, because who cares about the old Greedon? Because of the fact that you really want your Desire Devils and all that other jazz, and you don't really want to soul charge your triggers, because you're just, you know, drive check deck, right? So you don't really want to play Swirler. It doesn't really benefit the deck, especially since I'm pretty sure you're never going to be boosting in that deck for the majority of the time, so that doesn't work out. Then we got ourselves Dragjewel Mask here. Used to actually play it, not Dragjewel Mask. In Dragjewel Mask, yeah, you could play it, but now we have Dragjewel Ignis. Doesn't need Swirler whatsoever, because it has its own cards that do way better than Swirler, get way better numbers, way more consistent. Less about just blindly soul charging, more about recursion from drop, which is always the better way to go for any Dark States deck. Omnigujo does not care about specifics in soul, just needs a specific soul to like Soul Blast maybe, but not really, right? Just a Soul Blast for the Midra Wing. Does not really need high numbers in soul. A booster, I fucking guess, but not really. Viaman's Bruce hates anyone that's not Diabolos. He's not going to get along with Swirler. Chronojet here specifically has a restriction where you literally cannot play Brainwash Swirler in his deck, because it's either Brainwash Swirler or GG, and you're never going to not play GG. And it's been shown that deck just does not need Swirler. Who would have thought? I guess we can put this here to valid inclusion, because this deck can technically soul charge multiple times and so on and so forth. So fine, I'll give you Chronojets a pass here. Unica Mask or Astroya, whatever, does not need Swirler whatsoever. Does not need to so much blindly soul charge. Doesn't care about the cards in soul per se. Just needs 3 cards in soul, somewhat constantly, specifically being triggers, so you can soul blast them out, get the power. But you have so many ways in engine to just get them from your drop back into your soul that you do not need a Swirler. Andal kind of hates anyone that's not a Direful Doll, so he doesn't need Swirler. He doesn't need to blindly soul charge. He doesn't need the power. He doesn't need any of that jazz. Does not need Swirler. Both of these focuses on grade 3s. Technically, maybe Swirler would be fine, I guess. And then grade 4 Bruce. No. So that's just 2 decks that legitimately need this, but it's fine because Swirler's only $7. Then there's Yuika. This one's a little bit more tricky. I've sort of tested the waters with this one on Twitter to see what people think about it, and this one's a lot more divisive because of the fact that Yuika is a lot more generically helpful, right? Like Soul Charge, you get +5, that's fine. If you get a 4 for attack, draw a card, go to Soul, that's great, not always applicable. Bounce something to hand, that's kind of good. So this one's a bit tricky. But we'll try and go through this, and I don't know every lyrical girl as well. One of the other big issues is there's like 50 of these, just 50 of them. Notice how much more we have of these than the other ones. So naturally that makes it a lot more difficult for it to be spread out. Plus, I'm pretty sure Yuika is the only one that has any sort of applications outside of Standard, which is something that I've been focusing on for this video, right? Specifically in the scope of Standard, if that wasn't apparent by the decks only being in Standard. So, Yuika can probably be played in Bermuda. I can see that being very highly likely. Cool. Classic nothing on screen. Hold on. Boom. There we go. And as I do every single stream, gotta go ahead and enable YouTube chat. I'm considering very heavily making the move back to what's it called? Not Nightbot, but oh, just the normal chat box, so it's on screen, so I don't have to do this every single time. But we'll see. Because there was just such a huge delay when that when I was using that. But hey, everyone, how's it going? How's everyone doing today on this what is today? Thursday? Today's Thursday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's do a little something here. This here, and that's the game audio, which is whatever. Okay, yes, that's good to go. And now let's fix up this stupid ass chat that also decides to move around every single other streams for some reason. So you never have pants on? Yeah, I wish I had that luxury, but I get up way too much to allow that to be a thing. I stand up way too much to like go pee or like fix stuff. So I don't think I can ever do a stream where I just don't have pants on. I'm not wearing like you know, dress pants or anything crazy like that, but yeah. Alright. I think that does it. Hopefully the music's not too loud and you guys can hear me a-okay. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about. I think the last time we streamed, Chris Rain had come out and we were talking about that, and then my computer fucking blue screened. And that sucked ass, not gonna lie. But I managed to find the issue finally in doing that, because it turns out one of my, maybe both, I don't know, I haven't had the time to test it out completely, but one of my RAM sticks was just giving me an issue and causing the crash. So I ended up just go ahead and replacing them, and I haven't had an issue so far. So presumably we should not. If something does happen, I will be very, very upset. But we'll deal with that when it comes. I wish I could watch that Curly video 6 months ago before I ran one copy of Inlet and Leonard Mask like the anime, ran 2 Swirler and Almagesture like the anime, and 2 Yuika in Fortia. It's okay in Fortia, I just don't think it's really needed. Honestly, I don't remember how many friends Fortia needs. I could have sworn it was like 5, so that's why I don't feel like it's needed at all. It does nothing in Almagesture. And in Leonard Mask, it's fine, like, until we got Rosarium Fairy, I guess it was a valid option, but now we have Rosarium Fairy? Nah, we don't need that. Yeah, you guys don't need to see any of my junk. Don't worry, I will protect your innocent eyeballs You do wacky anime deck list, that's fine. Unlike, I want to say other TCG animes, I guess, yeah, they don't have much. The anime is, you know, a pretty decent enough source for getting deck lists. There's like, in terms of like being super optimal and super competitive and all that other jazz, it gives you a good general standpoint for how to build the deck, right? Whereas, you know, something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that are totally, completely off base and they don't even provide deck lists, right? It'll just be, they'll just play random shit, so that's fun. But let's take a look real quick. So we have a bunch of random cards from, I believe, set 2 that we're going to talk about today. Then I wanted to talk about the grade 1 that we got. That is going to end up supporting the quick start decks, which probably means we're getting 1 for each of them. So I wanted to see if we can kind of sit and figure out what the next one is going to be. And then after that, I wanted to see if we can record my Friday video on the stream, where I wanted to just take a look at the week 1 decks from Divines over in Japan and see how that's going. But sorry, I'm just getting everything put together so I can then share my screen. I think that's about it. Okay, so actually I don't need this anymore. We need this guy, we need this guy, and we need this gal. There we go. And while I'm at it, we'll go ahead and go to this place. Alright. F11. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Computer has been concerning me a little bit. To be honest, it has been... Random things have been going slower than I wanted to for some reason. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's just because I'm being super paranoid or what the case may be, but who knows. Don't need that open anymore. Let's go ahead and switch over to this. Especially YouTube. YouTube is running like shit. It pisses me off how shitty YouTube runs. Because it does not run good. Or like it makes my computer not run good, which is the dumbest thing in the world. That YouTube makes my computer feels laggy sometimes. But watch him pull an Olden and turn inlet into an archetype, all about moving stuff to soul, drawing the end phase. That would be sick as hell. I want them to do more of that Olden stuff. That was the coolest thing that came out of the last couple of episodes of was it the last couple of episodes? I forgot what season that was in. It was the very last season, but that was the coolest thing to come out of that season for Well Dress. Alright, let's go ahead and share. Oh right, I forgot. I can I think I have it from last time, so we can go over here. And cam is here, and then the display is left full, I guess. Yeah. Plus this, and I could have swore we added. I think I was in the middle of adding chat. Honestly, I think that's what happened. I think I was in the middle of adding chat or something like that, and then that's how we crashed last time. But let's go ahead and add chat, YouTube chat long. Like, I could have swore we added. I remember doing this, but it might have crashed and didn't save. Maybe that's what it was. There we go. I guess we don't need that, right? And yoink, put that there. That looks fine. We can do with that. I don't know why this card looks so much smaller than before, but that's okay. Everything changing overnight. I don't know what that means, but okay. Hopefully, I guess. I don't know. Why is this so like? There we go. Okay. the first episode of Overdress was magical, and then immediately went downhill from there. Yeah, that's why I was kind of glad that the first episode of Will Dress didn't do any of that, like, what is it called, Sakuga stuff, where it was just like all this crazy change in like animation style and all that crazy stuff, because that we should have known was a bad sign, considering that, you know, it's just episode 1, we gotta build some hype, and then episode 2 immediately is just snooze fest. But it did the opposite. It's been going okay. It's definitely better than Will Dress. The Vines, I have actually decided, I've been considering how to do this, but I finally figured out how I'm going to do this. So tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, is episode 6, right, of the Vines? If it's not tomorrow, then it's the next week that I'm doing this, but I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. That's episode, yeah, because we had the first episode, then we have the training episode, then it was Now versus Akina, then it was the random whatever introducing What's-Her-Face, then it was her episode. Oh yeah, it was Megumi versus What's-Her-Face, then it was What's-Her-Face versus Welstra. So then tomorrow we have Welstra versus Akina. That's for episode 6. This is supposedly a 12 to 13 season, so I'm just gonna end up doing like a mid-season review of the anime that's gonna come out on Monday. Zixander, the only website that shares a logo deck list instead of just topping lists for VG Paradox. Don't get me wrong, VG is fine, but finding obscure decks that aren't topping. Yeah, VG, I'm sorry, Dexander is a site that you can submit list for locals, but I think it's exclusively for Japan that he gets the list from, or that the lists are submitted from, and then he puts it on the site. Whereas, yeah, VG Paradox is strictly topping sites, but I think he has some sections for like just like general checklists or something like that. But I don't know if anyone really knows about that or if it's actually there. I've heard him talk about it. But yeah, I think that's the only site. The only other way you can check is like Twitter, but it had to be in like Japan text, so you'd have to like find out what the like specific hashtag, if any, is or something like that, or specific keywords to search. Divine has been much better. Meguminess notwithstanding. Divine's is it feels better. Yeah, it's better if you compare it to Will Dress and Overdress. Divine's is better. Whether or not it's like great compared to like anything else is a different story. But if you just strictly compare it to Divine's and then Will Dress or Overdress, Divine's is definitely better. But it's not still the highs of Vanguards, which mainly wasn't that high, but you know, yeah, I'll be talking about that later on in that video. But the main thing that I want to know is this whole thing that I've been thinking about since like it's happened since I think Urara fought Tomari, and at the end of the episode we saw that it was going to be Urara versus Yuyu instantly. And then again, when it was Megumi versus Danji, those 2 episodes instantly flipped my switch, where like I cannot suspend my disbelief watching the Vanguard anime anymore. So every time I watch it, I'm trying to think like, all right, is this like an anime where it's like a story that someone was passionate about to tell and they wanted to animate this and all this stuff? Or is it just strictly, this is just a marketing tool for us to sell cards, right? Because it can be somewhat a spectrum of it, but for the vast majority of the time, Vanguard has just been the market, you know, this marketing tool to try and sell the anime or sell the card game very poorly, with no thought or any sort of like story or anything to tell. It's just strictly, we gotta sell cards. Magnolia Mask is in the next set. Fuck. Just have a random match against Danji and Megumi, and that's it. Because we just gotta sell it. Instead of actually building up to the story organically, it's just like, no, we just gotta sell this crap. So that's kind of the lens that I've been looking at Divines from. But more on that later on. Fights feel much better, and so far every loss has felt justified. Sure as hell has not, bro. I don't know if you're watching the same anime. I enjoy Will Dress Season 1 the most, and funny that the season is entirely tournament. I wanted to enjoy Will Dress Season 1, but they just screwed up. I don't know how it is possible to screw up a tournament arc, but Vanguard did everything possible to screw up a tournament arc. Or overdressed it, at least. ran for 10 minutes at Vargas didn't win? Yes and no. I barely watch anime in general, so I'm not picky overall. Until the latest episode, I just find it funny that a lot of people realizing Vanguard power can go negative, and all of a sudden they scream that Wilson's overpowered. Who the hell? Who the hell just learned that? So far, just watching the fights do cool shit. Divines finally has players do competent plays for real. No twin via plot armor BS. No win via plot armor BS. I personally have a problem with that, to be honest. I don't like it when they try to make it so like I know it appeals to most of the audience, which is the sweaty Vanguard crowd, but I hate that because it makes for a really boring anime. They can make an exciting, competitive, sweaty anime fight and all that stuff, but they refuse to do so most of the time. So I would rather them have fun with it and have fun fights than try to do these super well choreographed, super competitive Vanguard fights in the anime, because it's just really not worth it. Go if you want to see that, go to your locals or something like that. Like, that doesn't need to be on screen. It should be a lot more fun and open to like not just sweaty Vanguard players. But I don't know. The short form really hurts Vanguard's anime IMO. It does and it doesn't, because I've been thinking about that a lot. Because the thing is that it does hurt it, yes, but it's less about the fact that it's like I'm pretty sure. This is not like confirmed. I'm pretty sure it's less about Bushiroad being like, all right, we're only gonna do 13 episodes. It's more about the whatever broadcast station that they're on being like, all right, you only have 13 episodes. That's the biggest amount we're gonna pay for. We're not paying for fucking 52 episodes anymore, bro. This isn't 1990. You can't come out here telling me you got 100 episodes for your fucking anime. We got 50 million other anime to push here. So you only have these 12 episodes to work with. Which kind of changes the way things works out if you think of it from that spectrum. It's less about Bushiroad purposely cramming everything in. It's more about them having to cram everything in, but they're just not doing a good job about it. Since Legion, wasn't it like even before Legion? Since like the what is his name? The Dimension Police thing. The Zeal, wasn't that a thing since Zeal? But the story trend so far is that characters that lose realize I do not need the magical witch to get their life stories, but I think is ass. I prefer it to be Yu-Gi-Oh protagonists pulling magic cards that don't exist out of their ads. I'm 100% okay with that if they can make it make sense and work. Or the OGR where every Kai fight was double critical. That's pretty much every Vanguard fight, but we'll get into that some other time. That's every suspense in every Vanguard fight, which is my problem. It's always like, oh my god, are they gonna check a critical? They checked a critical! Oh my god, I've lost. Good fight. That's like 90% of every Vanguard fight, because they just don't know how to write compelling stories 90% of the time. But 12 episodes is fine, but they cram it in stuff like they have 50. Exactly, yeah, exactly right. Like the last could have last 24 plus episodes. Yep, very easily. They could have very easily done that. And stretched it out. It would have been a lot bit better. Had the characters that were there be more involved, but instead they wanted to rush it so they can go to America, do fucking nothing in America important, and then rush towards the end of doing the mask stuff. They could have easily had the mask in the tournament, which would have made 100% more sense. You didn't even have to have a finals where it's like UU versus AI or whatever. You didn't have to have that, but you could have easily just had the deluxe take all of the mask and uniformer stuff, have it be within the scope of the deluxe, and then have the other stuff outside resolve it in the last 2 seasons or whatever. I wish the Vines can get their Greece and Stridegate equivalent season. I don't know what that means, to be honest. But it was the only GCG found tolerable. I'm not sure what season that is, to be honest. Also, did not need crit to win. I don't know. I don't remember the episode that well, but I just hate the fact that Vanguard anime, its whole like crux of like the drama is just like whether or not the drive check will be a crit or not. But because there's so much more they can do with that, but it always just comes down to like, oh guard, I hope they don't check a crit. They checked the crit. Like, or just a trigger, but there's just, I feel like there's just way more space to do way more things, especially even like the game itself, right? There's way more space to do way more, but they just refuse to do so. The whole D series is 60 episodes, which is a lot of episodes. They could have distributed content, and paced things out much better. 100% agree they could have done that. 100% agree that they could have done that, which is why I don't like that series so much. Part of it is, I'm pretty sure the series was cursed because both Yu, the main freaking voice actor, and the Drag Jewel voice actor, Michiru, were both, apparently the story is that they're both super famous voice actors, and Bushiro decided to book them for the anime that they ended up not having time for, which is why they had to end up rewriting, I'm pretty sure, most of the seasons to fit the fact that these guys were just not available. I don't think it was a huge effect on it, to be honest, because we don't know to what extent they were available, but I'm pretty sure Michiru would have had a bigger role, and then that's sort of why at the end of like Will Dress, Yu was like barely available for whatever reason, but yeah. Sam is so underutilized, just one fight and a bunch of weird CIA subplots. Yeah, could have easily thrown in Sam, could have easily thrown in Donji, could have easily thrown in Sophie, put them all into the deluxe. Fuck this America versus US, this America versus Japan crap, because it did nothing for the story. Just have them all be in one. But we would have told a way better story that way. Or you could have had like deluxe and then have the ultimate deluxe, right, with like America and Japan, if that was going to be the case, instead of just having an exhibition match and then fucking nothing else. Like, that was the whole point. They literally only did that to build up Sophie so that when she beats Rika, it would be like, oh wow, she's really good, so that then Rika has a reason to then beat her and then he become better. Like, it's just so transparent the way they did that. But all right, anyways, we'll get more into that Tuesday. Definitely the Tuesday stream after this episode 6. This episode 6 is gonna be very pivotal. Episode 3 was very pivotal. It was passable what they did, and now episode 6 is gonna be another pivotal moment for this anime season. We'll see how it goes. Sounds a lot like at 5D's rewrites that are still speculated so much, yeah, but they had way more episodes to work with, because 5D's was like 140 episodes, 160 I think it was, so they had way more wiggle room to do that kind of stuff. So you can see how much that affected it. It was in the anime? Yeah, I'm 100% sure that was the original plan, because these sets, keep in mind, these booster sets are planned way in advance, right? So it's very plausible that that was the original plan, but you know, that ended up not happening. Whether or not how Drag Jewel was going to fit into all of this, who knows, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was going to end up being. That's why I get really annoyed when stuff like the Megumi and Donji stuff happened, because it was like, this was planned super in advance, we have to show up Magnolia Mask somehow, so let's just quickly rush through some bullshit with Donji for an episode to show off Magnolia Mask, and then whatever stupid kids will buy it. Alright. 6 dude will be the one that beats not Yu. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work out. I have an inkling of hope that Akina's gonna lose, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna win, and it just seems really lame for him to just plow through everyone, because of the fact that they've done this for the 3rd time already, right? They did it with Chrono, they did it with Yu, and now they're doing it again after doing such an amazing job with Aichi. They're doing it for the 3rd time, where they build up this character just by sheer fights and not actually having character development. Like, motherfucker starts out episode 1 barely giving a shit about Vanguard and just be like, yeah, whatever, Vanguard, not even playing, to then 2 episodes later beating someone that is apparently like a super competitive player instantly. And then now he's gonna beat presumably the second best person in all of Japan, right? in Taizo, quote unquote, because he's the second place in Deluxe, right? So he's just gonna instantly beat him now too, having what, 3 official matches or something like that under his belt, and he's just gonna flat out beat him. Come on, man. Unless they like do something with it, right? Unless they do something to be like, oh, he's only winning because like whatever is rigged, or like he's fucking an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, or like some crap like that. It's just not mathing. But whatever, man. All right, let's talk about this guy. We'll just see how the episode goes. I had an inkling of hope, is what I was trying to say, is the fact that they called it like Reckless Angel or something like that. So it seems like he's gonna go reckless, and maybe he'll finally, you know, face some sort of some sort of adversity or something. But I highly doubt it. So I had just 3 random cards we want to talk about today, and then we'll go into this guy here to then go over and talk about possibly what the next grade 1s for the quick strike decks that I'm apparently the biggest advocate for is going to be. So we have here Steam Skara Esahadin here. It's very, very interesting. He just says that at the start of the battle phase, Energy Blast 4, choose a grade 1 or less normal unit specifically from your soul column to rear in the same column as this unit. And I would really like to know, what is the application of this? I don't know if this is going to have an application, because this is Divine Set 2, by the way. So this might have an application with fucking Blandmire, the faded Dark States boss. So you gotta kind of have to put it in scope in that. But I don't really know what else we can do with this. I like the fact that it's like a random skill, because like we've had for a long time commons that just had these stupid specific skills that you couldn't ever fucking use except for maybe in one deck. Meanwhile, this is actually technically playable in many decks, right? Whether or not it's like good or it's like actually competitive or all this crap is irrelevant. It's just the fact that it's literally actually playable, right? You can literally put this in a deck and be like, yeah, I mean, it might come up. Right? Who the fuck knows, right? Like, it actually does something, which is really nice. But I missed out the fact that, yeah, this comment here, you can actually use it for Rune Collector, which is really cool. I don't think you'll play this in that deck, but it does have that application, which is kind of nice. The fact that at the start of battle phase kind of does suck, so it doesn't let you do any crazy shenanigans, but, you know, kind of cool. Kind of cool. I want more stuff like this that just has different options that you can use, right? If it ends up becoming something that's great, leave that up to the players. But I just hate, one, them spoon feeding cards that make you, you know, play this specific way because, you know, that's how they want you to play. And then 2, restricting stuff to the point where it's just completely unplayable. So this is great. I hate how they keep pushing Masanori too. I'm hoping they do like some sort of I was hoping they did this last season where they did some sort of like big like revolver ocelot thing for anyone that's played Metal Gear Solid, where he was like, he's just been behind the strings and he's like the big bad and like all this stuff, but they dropped the ball and they don't want to do that, I guess. I hope there's a reason for them existing. Like a valid reason for Taizo and Masanori actually being in the series, but we'll see. Another comment doesn't suck down. Imagine if you call Swirler with this. Unbelievable. Did you not watch my video? I guess it wouldn't be horrible with technical work, but it'd be just a 26k column, but even 310 reasons why it's actually shouldn't always immediately consider it. If you call a unit in the battle phase, you can boost with it. Yeah, you can. So it'll just place it out in the middle of the battle phase. This actually has implications in. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. You can't use energy in premium. Never mind. This has implications in. I wanted to say like Greedon also, but since it's at the beginning of battle phase, it's kind of whatever. Technically, it does, right? For stuff like Greedon and like a lot of decks that just need specific rear guards, right? This is pretty good because it just calls you out a rear guard and you can have access to it. So it's kind of nice, but I can't think of a specific use for this other than like to get Rune Collector, but we kind of already have a way to do that, so I don't know. That's all right. in general, I just want more of this. Then we have this girl, Divine Sister Baynunu. She just says when she's placed from deck, get 15k power. That's cool. This is essentially Solarian support for the most part, because not a lot of things that can call stuff from deck. I guess there's Ezreal and Solarian. I don't know if there's anything else really that counts from calling from deck. Off the top of my head from Keter. So, you know, this is gonna be a giant 28k attacker, which is pretty solid. The only problem is that she kind of sticks around, so you have no way to get rid of her, which kind of sucks. So especially for something like Solarian, if like you had something that puts her back into your hand or on the top of your deck or something like that, that'd be kind of nice. But yeah, she kind of gets the power for that one time and then she's just gone. I think the reason ZBTO1, I mean DZ BTO1 doesn't have the usual crap commons is because every nation had 2 Rylai's worth of commons taking up most of the space. Perhaps, yeah. One day we will get a Divine Sister Ryline one day. I don't know. I doubt it. I wouldn't say I doubt it, but I don't think it'll be coming anytime soon right now. This art deserves to be a boss. Yeah, I guess. I could see that. He's Solarian a non-on place stacker? Yeah, essentially. Like, I don't know if or like, let him bind it. Maybe that'd be kind of cool, where you could like bind a card and then during your next battle phase, put a bind card on top of your deck. That would be a cool way for Solarian to go, honestly. And it would make the deck a lot more consistent, because instead of just filling up your fucking deck with crap with normal units, you can instead put the normal unit, do whatever, and then get a crit or whatnot. So it'd be kind of cool. Also started out as a random pack feather common. I would know because I'm doing a retrospective. Yeah. I'm not saying that they won't be a thing. I just don't think it will be a thing pretty soon, because they've done a pretty good job outside of encounters for flat out just copy and pasting aesthetics so far, which I really like. I don't like the fact that people are just like, oh, just make bugs again, just make bugs and let them paralyze. Just do the same exact thing that we have in premium and V premium. Do it again for standard, because that's the only way I like to play the game. I just think that's really lazy. I like it when they like copy the aesthetic of what it looks like and then make it something else, or copy what like the mechanic and then put it something else. That I think is really cool. But if it's literally just copy and paste, unless it's from an encounter, that's just lazy. Like, just go play premium if you want to play specifically that Mega Colony version of bugs. Come on. I don't know. That's just my thought on it. Kind of suck because all the battle sisters were just random common clones. Yeah. Just something cool with bugs. Yeah. Which is nice. We'll talk about more about that in a sec. Because we'll be taking a look at some vanilla list. Do a new thing with the aesthetics? Yeah. Either do a new thing with the aesthetics or do new aesthetics with the old thing. One or the other. But, alright, next up we've got ourselves Battle Monk of Thunderclap Zeshin here. So this is at the end of the battle that this unit boosted. If you have a greater Triumph Dragon in its card name, retire it, put a Triumph Dragon from your solar drop on the bottom of your deck. You're always going to do bottom from drop to deck, right? Because you want to use the Great 3 to Soul Blast out Triumph Dragon. Put it back, and then choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it. So that's kind of nice. And then, if not, draw a card. Super great common for Triumph Dragon. Amazingly good. Right? Especially considering it's a common, because it's super restricted. That's good. I want more decks to be playing commons. So that's really good. Hey, Azim, how you doing, buddy? Raziel didn't do the obvious thing with Angel Feather. It went to the Malik route. Kinda, yeah. Which sucks, because I'm still hoping we'll get Angel Feather mechanically in some way, shape, or form in Standard. I'm not saying it has to be specifically Gavriel. Either give us, like, a Stride deck set, which I know is hard, because we have stupid-ass Luard. That should have been Gavriel. Fucking lizard twink. But give us, like, some Stride deck set in the future, or, like, give that mechanic somewhere.
The comments have been amazing lately. Absolutely, yeah. And I'm glad that they're keeping it going in set 2. I wish it would stop doing that. But whatever. The grade 1 clone will be fantastic for Cristianos. Please give it melee than personas. Never do deck set again. They will be doing it, heck, and you know it. They're gonna do Storkea, and they will be doing. There's a presentation, March 22nd, I think it is, or something like that, for the rest of the year. They're gonna reveal the new deck set that's gonna come out. It's gonna come out in when does set 2 come out for Japan? They just got set 1 in February, so it's probably, I think it's like March or April or something like that. So it's gonna come out like June, the new wave of deck sets. It's gonna be Storkea and it's gonna be Bermuda Triangle. So get used to it. Musketeer Jewel Knight sets are planned to be encounters, but they came out on their own senses and dumped into premium. I don't know about all that, but possibly. But set 2 comes out mid-April. Set 3, okay. Set 3 late June. Yeah, so maybe in May. In May, we'll be getting the new deck sets, and then set 3 will be getting encounters. And they'll do extra encounters this time, just to fuck Eck over. But all right, so we have this guy here. Clearly, we're gonna get 5 more of these, 1 for each of the remaining quick start deck bosses. I wanted to sit here, spend some time, tickle you guys' brain. What do you guys think the extra effect for all the other quick start bosses is gonna be? So we'll start off. This is the Dragon Empire one, right? For Triumph Dragon, they're all gonna have the same effect, right? They're all gonna be grade 1 commons that say after it boosts, if you have the specific quick start deck boss. For Tyrant, that might be different. The cost might be different, but retire it or something like that to then put the Persona Ride from soul or drop to the bottom of your deck. Then you get this other effect. What is going to be the other effect? We can start with Cristiano, since I know he's he's the stream favorite. We'll give 5k for every X card and drop. I doubt that. Cristiano's comment that lets you add a card from hand to drop. That would be amazing. That would be what the deck needs, yes. So put back Cristiano's, it'll be amazing for him, right? Because you can very easily mill your Persona Ride, put it right back. Helps you from decking out, which isn't a huge issue, but it won't be an issue. You can easily get that Persona Ride back. You can use this multiple times, right? Because it's not locked, so you can just play a bunch of them back, right? After you mill out all your Persona Rides. You can early game discard your Persona Ride, get 1 from deck, put the one you discarded back. So this is insanely cool. I want to play that. Master of Shadow? Do you guys want? I don't think you guys would like that. I don't think you guys are about that. That's probably a bit too much for y'all, right? Chasing Season. No, that's probably a bit too much. We can do Tartarus. Yeah, we do Tartarus. I like to dissociate to this song very often. Northampton's dining hall has a bunch of halal snacks. I thought it'd be displayed for the longest time. That sounds good. Add a card from drop to hand sounds double R worthy, not a commando. Maybe, I don't know. What if maybe they'll put in a restriction on it where it's like a non-sentinel or something stupid like that. I don't know. But I think that sounds about right. It's definitely going to be something mill related, right? I don't think it'll be anything else. Give 5k for every card and drop. I don't think they'll do that, considering that Nectar already exists and they did Nectar in a stream, so they know it exists. What could it be other than adding a card from hand? I can't think of anything better than that, honestly, that the deck would need. I think that's pretty good right there. It'd probably be like add something from hand and discard 1. That's probably what it'll be. Do the 7 Seas thing call 1 more from drop, but it dies in end phase? I mean, he technically already has that, so you wouldn't be far off, because the grade 3 retires itself from drop. But I think that's too strong for a common to get an extra attack, to be honest. But, all right, I think that's fair. Let's think about the does mean shark will be cut. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, I was gonna say, think about the Brancate one next. Obviously restand or something in the front row restands. At the end of the battle that it boosts. What's the cost? Okay, actually back to Cristianos. What is gonna be the cost for the Cristianos card? That's important, because if they all have the cost to retire, then obviously the Astrum one is not gonna be able to restand. So what is gonna be the cost for Cristianos? Is it just gonna retire itself? I think maybe it will retire itself, which might mean everything else might retire itself. I don't know if the deck can do Soul Blast, another Soul Blast skill. I don't think it can handle that, to be honest. Especially, I don't think they're gonna do Soul Blast because this is already Soul Blast, right? I don't know. Mill cards from the top. Oof. I mean, if they do that, like mill 2 from the top, then I have to be able to select whatever the fuck I want for my drop. No restrictions, no discard. Mill but return the mill triggers? That would be cool, but I doubt it. That's probably asking for too much. Returning cards back sounds like a double R kind of thing. Yeah, I could definitely see it being like mill, add something, or maybe mill, like look at top 3 or something like that kind of deal. Add one to hand, mill the rest. Something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, something like that. All right, then we can go to Astrum. So Astrum is the robot. He says, you know, when he attacks, he restands. He's focused around the order. I know Eki said it'll restand. I think it'll be a lot more simpler than that. It might just be a Bulba Mine. They might just be lazy and do one of two things. It'll be a Bulba Mine where it countercharges. Maybe it retires itself to countercharge, or it'll add an order from drop. Yeah, because that's what they've been doing with a lot of the cards to make you add an order from drop, right? Think of the cat, think of the grade 3, right? They might just end up doing that shit again, which I would not be surprised if that's what they make it do, where it just adds like a set order from drop. So he does need 8 Bulba Mines. Yeah, that I don't know. It is locked to a specific Vanguard. So I don't know if they'll give him the counter charge. Maybe it'll be like Soul Blast or something like that. I don't know. But it'll either be counter charge or it'll be get an order. I don't think they'll do restand, but who knows, right? So the next up would be Keter Sanctuary, right? I hope these guys get more than just a common. I'm pretty sure they'll get at least one other card. I don't know if they need that much. I feel like they're in an okay spot. I feel like people just rag on them still. But also the fact that Japan is playing all the other stuff, right? Instead of trying out the quick start deck bosses. But I think they're pretty solid. But yeah, I hope they do get more stuff. Keter will do the OTT thing. Yeah, probably. So retire, put it back. Look at the top 2. Well, I don't know actually. Because that doesn't help Sarazzle at all, to be honest. Unless it's like, look at the top 2, put 1 in drop. Put 1 on the top of your deck, but that's not really a Keter thing right now. I have to put the camera down a little bit, actually. Hold on. I didn't realize how high it was. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I can see a little bit more of my body. You're not gonna see the quick start deck bosses on Dexander or VG Paradox, but they're very solid. I will top with Cristianos, and he'll end up on VG Paradox, whether Fuzzy likes it or not. Keter's quick start deck is the one that suffers the most from my big bro is better than me syndrome. Yeah, it's not even his big brother is better than him. His big brother does literally the same shit as him. Like, they're literally the same deck, except Raziel is better. Just because, like, he can call 2, first of all, and then he has the Divine Skill on top of that. So, and he obviously gets more support. Right? But I'm really upset that they gave Raziel the same exact skill. They should have given Sarazaral something else. They should have let him call from damage, if that was the case, right? They should have let one of them be call from damage, right? If they're both literally angels, should have let one of them call from the damage zone instead of having them both call from drop. I feel like that was stupid. That was very stupid, but whatever. You embarrass your support grade 2. Yeah, exactly. That card is so good in Raziel. Discard 1 to draw 1 just to filter and revive later. Yeah, that's what I was saying, but like, there's no precedent in Keter Sanctuary for something like that, so I don't know. Calling from damage, hardcore sucks. It does not. Bro, let me call from damage. That is my favorite mechanic in all of stupid ass Vanguard, bro. Let me do it in standard already. I'm building a freaking premium Angel Feather deck just so I can finally freaking do that. I picked up V Premium and it's just like, oh man, I can barely do this the cool shit. But yeah. You don't have many good targets to call, then don't fucking have a better damage zone. How about that, huh? Stop having a shitty ass damage zone then. Come on. Play Curiel and V and see how damage calling plays out. I might actually. Really wanted, not Curiel, but Celestials, because I really like Sarachol. That mechanic and Doctor aesthetic are forever in Bushiroad to jail. Ugh. So lame. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be something lazy, but like just look at top 2, put one on top and one on bottom. But I would think it would be something that helps him call something like something drop related, but it's just kind of dangerous because that's basically Luciano's territories. So yeah, I don't know. You know it's bad when Mechacolin and Tachikaze get the bosses first. Mechacolin and Tachikaze get the bosses first. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. But I guess let me do my drugs real quick. Let's drop a bunch of random cards. Hold on. Alright. There's something else like that can that can stay on the floor now. But yeah. Is Prescription Angel the closest Angel Feather card in standard? Probably. Don't remember off the top of my head what Prescription Angel does. Is she the one where like Counterblast 1, put herself into damage, call a grade 3 from damage or something like that? But probably. There were some in the earlier D. Yeah, there were some random effects, but nothing like true. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to settle for OTT effect for not Raziel. Even I'm doing it. Sarazaral or whatever the hell his name is. What about the Dark States Chimera then? I'm thinking if they've all had to retire so far, so probably it'll retire itself. Maybe put a card from your drop into Soul or something like that. Maybe I feel like putting itself into Soul would be too much. Soul Charge, yeah, maybe it'll just Soul Charge 1 or something like that. I don't know, just because like I feel like this effect is pretty good, so this kind of sets the bar. Like retire 1 if not draw, that's a pretty solid effect for like no cost. That's pretty solid. But I don't know, yeah, it might just end up being like Soul Charge 1 or something like that. Probably. But and then probably the What would the lyrical one do? Because Marlene just bounces and then calls something out again. Maybe it says like at the end of the battle, maybe it lets you bounce the same thing in the same column, like retire it and then choose something in the same column and bring it back to hand kind of deal. Maybe something like that. And I'm sure some of them will have like some random like give Vanguard 5k skill attached to it too to make it a little bit better, but something like that I think sounds about right for all the remaining 5. We'll probably find out one of them I think tonight as the card of the day, but we'll see. We'll see how things shake out. Sorry, quickly. Yeah, return 1 to hand. That's basically what I figured. Checking if I had a message, but I don't. All right. All right, you guys saw my background for a second right there? Sorry about that. All right. Cool. I think that works. This means we're getting great for versions of the starters. We're not. They're they've just, every card is just future proof nowadays, which is kind of nice. That's cool. All right, so let's jump over here. We got ourselves currency. Okay. We got ourselves Dexander's site, as we talked about earlier. I want to do this for a YouTube video that's gonna go up tomorrow. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick look at the list that Japan has been playing. I want to go here to me, and I recently retweeted this list. I want to keep open to come back to that, but we'll go back to that in a second. Let me just make sure everything's set up for me to record. Sorry, it's very catchy. I hope it's not too much of a boring song. All right, I wonder if there's some sort of way I can like disable that so it doesn't like do this. You guys don't constantly see my desktop. No. Maybe that's Windows things that I can check out. No. Watch a bit in the Indonesian Nova card for Vanguard, Asia Circuit for the few clips. The quality of the lip syncing is a bit inferior to the English dub. You can tell me the ADRs trying to make the lines of it in the lip flap that didn't work at the time anyway. So bit of a shame how difficult that stuff is, but it's also kind of up to like the animation studio how easier they make it for the dubbers. But yeah. But all right, let's do a quick YouTube video. Sorry, cracked my neck. That felt really good. One last thing actually before we start. Actually, it's fine. I don't feel like doing it. I was gonna put a border around the chat, but I don't feel like doing that. So let me just keep this open here. There we go. All right. Hey, it's Curly, and today I wanted to take a quick look at the Week 1 deck list for Japan after DBZ1 has been released. DBZ1. I can make some sort of joke about that, about some sort of Dragon Ball related joke about that, I guess. So we're here on the Dexander website, which is a site that takes in, how do I say this? Okay, so we're here on the Dexander site, which takes in submissions from Japanese players from locals, and it's a good source to find out what Japan is playing in the early days. So we can go ahead and jump in here, click on Isabel, and take a look at the DZBTO1 so far. He's added in this new feature here that shows you a sort of pie chart. That accurate? This sort of graph here to give you a sort of sense of what's being really played. This apparently says the amount of wins. I don't know where he's getting that information from specifically, but you can see here Varga is doing extremely well. It is the best card or the best deck to come out of that set for the most part. And then we got ourselves Luard coming in here as the second most played deck. You see 0 Shiranui. I can guarantee you once the next week's data comes in, you'll see Vargas cut in half possibly, or Luard drop, I don't know, but Shiranui is going to make its way in here. What essentially happened here is that all the Shiranuis took a break from constantly winning with their dominant Kaka and decided to play a different Dragon Empire deck because they have a lot of the pieces, and built it temporarily so that you can play it. But they'll creep in afterwards. We have some Welsh stuff, which is kind of shocking that it's more than the Raziel. And then we have Veleno here, actually, which is pretty interesting. It's a bit of a sleeper from this set, but I'm surprised it has so many showings from here. Japan is quick to drop everything for whatever is a new thing, yeah. But Shiranui is so good that I know that they're going to come back to it. I can't imagine a world where Varga is better than Shiranui. Not that Varga is bad, but maybe Varga doesn't need a CC after all. It doesn't. You just have to not use Shura every single turn. Just use it on your kill turn. But alright, other than just taking a look at the wins, we can also take a look at the specific list that certain players are playing. So as you can see here, while Shiranui had no wins, I'm sure again this will change because more Shiranui will be getting more adjusted to what's going on. We do have some lists here for Shiranui. We have a single listing for the end here, and then we have a bunch of the Varga lists. So let's go ahead and take a look at those first. So some of these are going to be kind of hard to see because it is just images of you know, people's cards, but we can see a lot of the usual suspects. This one was really interesting. I took a look at this one before even making this video because of the fact that they've actually dropped the Dragon Empire Overtrigger, which is really funny. The reason they've dropped it is because it has this weird timing, if I remember this correctly, where like as soon as you check it, it instantly restands, but you can't use the divine, something about the divine skill if you didn't specifically attack with like -2 drives or something like that, or if you haven't attacked, I forget how I think it is that the first skill you instantly restand, so it ends up wasting the attack unless you check it after your divine skill. I believe that's how it works. So instead of having to deal with that, they've gone ahead and used the blue Overtrigger to get more criticals, which is kind of interesting. They also have a lot of cards that you don't see in a lot of the other lists here. So you see here 4 copies of the Eugene, or the, not Eugene, but the like Gandiva normal order card here. We see 3 of the promo stealth card, which is extremely good. We see both copies of the ride, discard ride guys, which I've seen played a lot, but I think a lot of the lists will find out that that's not really the best way to go about it. But a lot of them, now that there's 2 different cards that you can use to discard for a ride, a lot of lists are playing max copies of them, which I feel like is a bit overkill. We also see the mid hat here, which is a really cool card because of the fact that it can, if your Vanguard, I believe, restands, you can retire to draw a card. So it's a nice little card to play. It also works really well with the Shura, who you can Energy Blast to, save something retires, add it to your hand at the end of the turn, so you can then use the mid hat to guard. I think mid hat is really great here. This card is pretty interesting here because this is the order cycler for Dragon Empire that says if you played an order and if it wasn't played by a card ability, you can Show Blast, like at the top 5, call something. But it also gets 10k power for, I think it gets 5k power for each of your opponent's open rearguard circles in front of her, so it just becomes 10k if the column is empty, which is all right. I don't know how well it works with Varga, to be honest. Next up here, we have a somewhat more standard list playing 4 copies of the grade 3 that can get boosts, and I think it can get retired. We have the Angel Ladder for Shiranui. We have the Ethan, which is a really cool card that I really like. The only reason I don't like Ethan is that the Gojo works a lot better because it synergizes better with Shura and this guy, because this guy can call a grade 1 from your drop, and then she can say when a grade 1 retires, you can add it to your hand. This is a grade 2, so it doesn't synergize as well. But Ethan is really cool because it just says when the Vanguard hits, you can retire it, countercharge, and I think draw a card, which is really nice, but he's 9k. So you can kind of just slap him down on the back row or something like that. Other than that, everything else is pretty regular. As you can see, they're playing 4 copies of each of the discard cards. They're playing none of this in the main deck, which I find really interesting. I feel like this card is really good from the ride deck, where if once it attacks, it retires itself and you draw 1. That's kind of odd. I could have thought that was played at least at some copies, but a lot of the grade 1 are like that. And then we see the cat here. Dragvitor Lafetta is underappreciated. She's a great tech in your Bob deck. Yeah, I don't know if she works great in Varga, but yeah, she's a pretty solid card. Shenri promo is going to be expensive when she comes to the West. She indeed will. Yeah, that's what I was saying about the right deck. Next up, we have another list here, which has what I expected as well, where they're playing the Bafsagra ride line here, because the grade 1 doesn't do too much, and I expected this to happen where they'd use this just to filter out. They are playing the grade 2 here, which makes sense, but you can see here, this is the Shura over here, this is the grade 3, and this is the Ride Cycler. They're playing the Meta Hat here and the Madoka, which is pretty cool. Madoka is pretty cool. Bunch of aggressive grade 1s. They have here the, or not, the grade 1s are aggressive, but a lot of grade 1s is what I mean to say. They have your 4 copies of the Gojo, which is really cool because he says if he boosts and you hit a Vanguard, you retire him to countercharge. You can countercharge, similar to the Ethan. We also have the Cup here, which makes a lot of sense, and fronts as well. So pretty standard. That runs the Dragon Empire Overtrigger. Yeah, both of these have been running the Dragon Empire Overtrigger. I think all of them are going to be running except that first one we saw. I don't know which one of the 2 is right, but we'll see. Then this list here is pretty interesting as well, because we got ourselves the this card here, which just says basically you choose something on Guardian Circle, it gets I think 10k shield and it bounces back to your hand. So you get a lot of random recursion from this. Other than that, it's pretty standard here. The only difference is that they're playing draws instead of fronts from what we've seen so far, and only 1 cap. So okay. Excuse me. Card is busted. That card is busted. It's alright. It works really well with the grade 1 that gets shield, but it's not in this list, so. Next, we've got another list. We see ourselves this fella, the Brachiosaurus, which I've seen in a lot of lists. I don't think it's a very good card, because it does have to hit. It does let you retire and draw 1, but I feel it's kind of a necessary inclusion. I feel like something like Ethan is a little bit better, or just the stuff from Vargas himself. But we'll see the blue overtrigger here again, as well as the draw triggers. Then we got ourselves another list here where we have more of the blue overtrigger. So it seems like they're switching over to the blue overtrigger. I don't know if it's because it actually happened when they went in and they got the Dragon Empire overtrigger, or if it was just out of fear that they switched over. But this is looking more of the usual. We're playing this, which is a new Blitz Warrior that's in the set, which is kind of cool. So this has a bit more defensive options, and then it has the Cycler card here, which I think gives something a crit, if I remember correctly. So that's kind of interesting, but it is Counterblast 1. So I don't know how they have the Counterblast to end up playing this. For the Shura's Energy Blast 2 skill, who do we apply it to? Midhat? Yeah, it has to be a grade 1. You can technically always use it on this guy too, because he retires himself. But yeah, just any... I don't think she specifically says grade 1, but it's the grade 1s typically that you want to do it to. Or maybe she just say grade 1? I don't remember. Very good on a dying turn 3, so defensive card makes more sense. Yeah, possibly. We also see the Brachiosaurus here as well, which again I kind of disagree with, but I guess it's a good card early game, so maybe that's more what it is. We got ourselves another Vargas list here, of course. Pretty much the usual suspects here, nothing really to write home about. It looks like we're playing draws again, but then we got the Dragon Empire Overtrigger, so it seems like we're split 50-50 almost between which Overtrigger to play. Got ourselves another list here. This one is playing... I don't know what Overtrigger. I don't see it. I might be blind. I'm sorry if I missed out on it. Oh, there it is. The blue Overtrigger. Yep. So this one's playing blue. We got Midhat, who's making a strong appearance here. This is actually getting reprinted soon, but this is an extremely good card. I believe these two guys are very good. I like this a lot. This is cutting down now on the Drag Ritter and playing more copies of this. This guy I don't like because he clashes the Energy Blast with Shura. So I actually think the Drag Ritter is way better than playing this guy. But that's just me. Well, turns end with 9+ hand. I mean, it could always kind of do that sometimes. The rare piece, I see overwhelming gratis instead of Angel Ladder. I don't know about that. I've seen a lot of Angel Ladder. I think we've only seen like maybe 1 or 2 gratis. I think Angel Ladder is always going to be the pick until Shiranui is no longer an issue. I don't think it's worth it in this deck per se because you don't care about your rear guards per se, but it's just because you don't want Shiranui to dominate them. Next up, we've got ourselves another blue overtrigger plus some draws. We got here the heat stamping, heat stamping dragon, I believe this is. This one's pretty interesting because this says, I think when your Vanguard attacks, you can like retire it or put it to soul to give your Vanguard plus 10k. So this is actually a nifty little option here as well. And then of course you got the Ethan. We don't see any of the the Drag Ritter to discard. Instead of just seeing 4 of this. So that's kind of interesting. Still have the Drag Ritter here at 2 copies. Here's the Ride deck. We got ourselves a blue Overtrigger here and the Angel Ladder here, and the Mid Hat, and the Ethan as well. So, pretty nice. Oh, here we go. I was gonna say, is there anything to talk about? Here's this dumb card that has been getting bought out in the English market because one guy said it might be good. This guy just says on place he gets 5k. He's 6A, so he becomes 11k booster. And then he says if you were to ride instead of discarding, you can put him to soul instead. I think it's mainly used for the first skill, which makes better numbers with Vargas. I don't think it's very good, to be honest. I don't think it's worth it at all. But here's a list that actually used it. So this guy's so bad. Yeah, it's just so situational. Yeah, I don't see it very good at all. I would 1,000,000% rather run Ethan or Mid-Hat. I think this guy's ass. But, oh well. This is more of the same. This is more of the same. This is more of the same. And this is more of the same. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Let's close some of these. Alright, so that does it for all of the Varga list. The last couple were more of the same. Let's quickly take a look at the Shiranui list to see if anything has changed. For the most part, this looks about the same. Doesn't look like anything's changed. It's always really funny to see them playing Angel Ladder. The second list here looks relatively the same. It's kind of hard to just make anything out. Looks about the same. And then we got the final list here, relatively looks exactly the same. So it doesn't look like they've changed anything to adapt to the new Divine format. They just have the energy generator just to draw cards. Real curiously, let's just take a look at this this Overlord list here. Is there an FFR? Oh yeah, there is an FFR version. It's in Festival Collection. That's right, of Habibi or whatever the heck his name is. We see 4 of the Blitz Order here. That's kind of cool. Other than that, it's kind of standard fare for Overlord, except they added the new Cycler card here. Okay. Play next Tartar song. Sorry. Does Vanguard have a problem for all the Soul Blasts? They have a soul problem for all the Soul Blasts to draw? It doesn't use soul for anything, actually. Yeah, it's just, aside from stuff that actually uses soul, the only thing that uses soul is a grade 1, which I don't think you need to use the soul for, because I think it natively gets 5k and you Soul Blast to get 2k and then retire something and draw. But other than that, it does not use soul for anything. Just a grade 2 calling itself from soul? Yeah, because the grade 1 replaces itself, so natively it doesn't. So yeah, so that does it for Dragon Empire. Let's take a look at Keter Sanctuary here. We have ourselves just a few lists of Raziel here. I think we'll spend most of the time just looking at the new stuff here, unless I see anything from like Lord or Bastion or any other decks that weren't directly supported that have anything interesting. So I think I've seen this list for Raziel before because of the fact that it's playing this girl here, which is the Order Cycler from set 12 for Keter. That's been played on a lot of decks and is actually really hard to get right now. So if she attacks a grade 3 or greater, she gets plus. If you attack a grade 3 or greater, and I think you have 3 units or something like that, she gets plus 10k. But also the same effect where she Soul Blast on place if it wasn't by card, a unit ability. If you played an order, she can look at top 5, call something. They're using the Minerva order, which is Counterblast 1, draw 2, call 2, or discard. To make that happen. So essentially what I was trying to do with Graham Grace, which is kind of interesting. They've got the dog, they've got the cat, they've got the blue over trigger, they got the Sages. This is the most expensive deck I've seen in my life, probably, because just those cards I pointed out are probably several $100s in the English market at least. Like generic Keter good stuff deck, essentially, yeah, like no exaggeration, that's all this deck is. None of the grade 2 from the common grade 2, which is unfortunate because I think that's a really good card for this deck. Then we got this list here, which is more of the same. They, strangely enough, they actually play the Olden line here. Okay, that's kind of cool. The Olden line says when you ride the grade 2 over the grade 1, you reveal 3 cards with different grades and look at top 5, call a grade 1. Grade 2 does the same thing, but this is actually the grade 2 for Raziel, which just lets you call something from drop. So that's kind of cool. This gives you a lot more early game pressure. We're seeing here a different order package, as we have the orders from this set, and then this card from set 11, which is Soul Blast, give like 2 rear guards plus 5. I feel like the deck runs into like some soul issues because it has no way to generate soul, so this is the reason why I ended up dropping this eventually, but it did see some play here, especially since Nobia uses soul as well. But yeah, none of them are using that grade 2 that gets power, which is kind of sucky. And then we also have this grade 1 that gets power if you played an order. Yeah, Raziel runs out of soul just because it has no way to generate it. This doesn't give you soul either, it just keeps itself in soul. But the grade 1 from the right line replaces itself, so it's whatever. Then the last list we have here actually uses the Cowbray here, and then 2 copies of the I forgot what her name is, not Painkiller, but the grade 2 cycler. We have the new Personalized cycler. We have ourselves the Luard card, which I don't think does anything in this. I don't think you can use the effect. The Gigaton Crusher, which we didn't see before, which I feel like is a decent include. So this list is pretty interesting, to say the least. Sorry, excuse me. Let's take a look at these lists. That's pretty standard. Pretty standard. Pretty standard. Pretty standard. Pretty standard. Does this have the promo? This does have the promo. Okay, so this Bastion has the promo here. Playing only 2 copies of the new promo, the new grade 2 that counts as a grade 3. I think it can retire and draw. It does like a billion things, but only playing 2 copies of that. Other than that, the list looks exactly how you'd expect. So moving away for Keter, let's go into Braincake, where the only deck we really have here is the 1 Messiah, but then we got ourselves 4 Wellstra. All right, so Wellstra's pretty interesting. I've been wanting to see what Japan has been cooking up. This kind of looks like what I kind of expected them to come up with here. Trigger lineup is kind of what I expected. The lineup for the units is that I expected, as many operators as you can. They are playing the Bergina here. She can operate on place for CB1. This can operate in battle for CB1. This can operate Soul Blast 2 in battle. But it can also search out a product or the Wellstra. This, of course, is Bulba Mine, and then this, whenever something is put into your order zone, you put this to soul to counter charge. This is a more complicated Bulba Mine, but it works really well with the Uber here. So they're playing the two new ride lines, the 2 new ride line cards instead of using a mix of the old one. Which is kind of interesting. So this one, he lets you, depending on your opponent's grade, call out a grade 1 or grade 2 order and play it, I think, or add it to hand. I think it plays it, yeah. Then the grade 2 says Energy Blast, I think 3 or 2 or something like that. Add 2 of these to your hand with different names, and then the Divine Skill, of course, lets you play it. The order lineup is a lot heavier than I thought. I would have thought they would have been playing less products, but they have basically the same amount as before. Because typically you would be like 4 this, 4 Lubet, so 1 of this, sometimes 2 of the dog. So it's kind of the same order lineup as before, which is kind of interesting. What's is going more conservative hard draw engine than Uber Wombo combo, perhaps. I originally thought this was like a card you play a lot, but the fact that you can only use 1 of them once per turn, and you can't use it on the turn you play it, I don't know. I feel kind of bad playing this in the main deck, just the energy charge, but we also don't see any of the grade 1 QD, which kind of sucks. 7cc is the least requirement for the decks, it seems. Maybe, I don't know. This is just one build. Then we got our next build here, which is actually more of the same. This one instead has fronts here, but the ratios are about the same. They actually play slightly less. They play 1 less of both these orders in order to make space for this grade 1, who says when you play a set order, I think, he goes to soul and you draw 1. So that's kind of interesting. Okay. Other than that, yeah, it's about the same. So they're going for this like more operate heavy pattern, choosing these guys to substitute the cost. I don't know how much I like Regina per se, but that's all right. I would probably play more of her and then like something else here, but all right. This is actually playing 4 of this, which is interesting. Reminds me of that times who runs combined rusher. I was like, bro, you don't have the CV for that? Yeah, that man is on crack. He deserves to lose against Akina. Let's check the grade 1. Yeah, there's the grade 1. Next list here is again more of the same. All right, so it just looks like this is the list for Wellstar for now. I don't know if I agree per se, but that's what's been working so far, or maybe not working. I don't think Wellstar has been doing so far so far, so maybe it hasn't been working, but we'll see. And then the last one here is yeah, more of the same. I personally like the grade 1 from the old Wellstar line in this spot here, just because it lets you keep the extra soul, because this guy's Soul Blast 1 to get the product, whereas the other guy's just for free. But that's just me. I don't really care for Messiah, so we're not going to take a look at that. I care about Dark States. Unfortunately, we only have ourselves 2 things here. We'll take a look at the grade on list too while we're at it. Alright, so we have Arnold here, which has about what I expected. We have the grade 1 from the Almagestor line, which lets you Soul Blast a trigger, or no, bind a trigger from your soul, I believe it is, to then get 10k, but then you can bind these Direful Doll triggers, which you can then use to guard, and then they become extra 5k shield. Using this girl here, I don't think she really works out. I don't think you have the like CB to use her and whatnot, but this is the Direful Doll that says if you have 5 or more cards in your soul. That's the part that bothered me, because I ended up having trouble triggering it accurately when I had 5 or more cards. But if she boosts, if you have 5 or more cards, counterblast 1, your opponent has to use 2 or more to guard. Dark States kind of flopped week 1. Everyone's sleeping on this deck. The deck is crazy good, but hey, whatever. Don't listen to me, I guess. New One is aiming for 5 attacks, but 4 attacks in Orbital Cannon, more or less, yeah. Which sounds about right, because I have been saying that it's going to play differently from the old Wellstar. Whether or not that's the more successful way to do it, or if the way they're doing it right now is more successful, time will tell. Next up, we have another list here, which has more of the same, but instead of the Direful Doll, we see here the Zargon, which I think is a good inclusion. She's not super necessary, because a lot of your cards put your dolls from drop into soul anyways, but she does completely round out the deck this way. And of course, we have the Almagestor here as well. Everything else is about the same. Cat is good. Cat, I love Cat. Even though you like the ride line, but counter charge is nice. Because it's very similar to Luke here, where you have to counterblast 1 every single turn. Then we got ourselves a very tiny agreed-on list here. That's making use of the new cards. They're actually playing 3 of the new Elephant and 4 copies of the new grade 2. I don't see any of the grade 1. The grade 1. Oh no, here's the grade 1. Okay, all right. And then we got ourselves another grade on list, which looks more like the older list. They're actually playing the this guy here, the Boar. That's very interesting. They got the grade 2 as well. They're playing, whoa, what is happening over here? They're playing the Syri here, CB1, look at top 3, put 1 into Soul, interesting. And then the Rising Dragon, on place, put a card from hand to Soul, draw 1, wow. Runs Lindica. Yeah, Lindica is really good in general, because she's just in for any of the mass decks, on play, CB1, look at top 5, call something. I'm getting this one played Lindica, I don't know, I can't, I can't make it out. Oh, here she is, yeah, Lindica's really good. Alright. So, green on green looking like it's cooking a bit. Okay. That'll do it for Dark States. Let's move on to Story Can here. So, we'll take a look at the Magnolia list. And we'll look at the Vanilla Norm list. I'll ignore Leonarn list. I feel like we have enough Leonarn right now. We'll start off with Valeno here. This looks like we basically expect this should all be really quick, because all we really need to look at is the orders, because you're just going to be playing 4 copies of all of the Valeno cards. And then they're actually playing this guy, which is interesting because he's like CB1. Like add 2 orders when you drop to your hand or something like that, I guess. But here's the B as expected, and then the Blitz order, they're playing this, which is interesting. I don't know if the Margaret would be a better option, but alright. And then they're playing this guy by itself. None of the Morpho, by the way. Just playing this by itself because it searches this out and also gets 5k. I think if your drop has a Blitz order. So this is just constantly a 13k booster. This is the best Valeno list here. You think that the Cycler sucks, but you have the energy to afford it? Alright, fair enough. That just is my issue with those new Cyclers in general, is that they usually clash with a lot of new cards. Like, I think they're really good in a lot of the older decks, but for the newer decks, I feel like those cards are good, but I don't know. This one, again, is more about the same. They're playing this, which is interesting, and then they're playing the Cap, and then the new Cycler, which is interesting as well, because it's just mills. So, they're playing the old Magnolia order, which is like we have 3 units, Counterblast 1 to like give your Vanguard 5k or something like that, or 15k. And then this one, which is good against your Nui, because if something was placed by an ability, it becomes like a 20k shield or something like that, or 25k shield. And then this is actually spiritual body condensation. So that's interesting. So this is a very interesting list, just to say the least. Morpho sucks in Vanilla. At least wave 1, your front row always has at least 2 Valeno, so no need to call the Morpho, yeah. The mid and mill triple rare, double rare, yeah, very interesting. I think about the grade 1 Persona rank all required Counterblast, which most decks can afford. Yep. So this one's very interesting, to say the least. Then we got ourselves the next one here, which does play the Morpho and does play the Margaret. These two kind of clash, ironically. Other than that, it's pretty standard. They're actually playing the Ghost Chase here, as well as this Regalia. Ghost Chase is alright because it lets you bounce your pieces, so you know you can keep them safe, so you have the requirement for her, so that's not bad. Then we got ourselves Magnolia. I took a look at this earlier. This is Magnolia Mask. So they actually threw in 1 copy of the line. They have here 2 Goat, 2 Sero, 4 of this, 4 of the Maleva, 3 of the Dragon, 2 Impulse. They didn't watch my video. Only 3 draw triggers, kind of interesting. 1 single copy here of the Habitat. They are actually running the new ride line, which is really cool. So they're using way less orders. They got the Angel Ladder, 3 Mask, and then the 1 Habit. Because there's no Ranker. There's really not that much of a need, I think, to run Ranker Chain and Black Tears Husk Dragon, especially Black Tears Husk Dragon. I think can definitely get replaced in pretty much every Magnolia list. Ranker Chain is kind of like up in the air right now. This list is alright. It's not half bad. And then we have the last Magnolia list, which is kind of interesting because it is actually, I don't know what ride. I'm assuming they're playing the Warrior ride line. I honestly can't tell. I don't know why people put up a deck list and just don't let you see the cards. What was the point, bro? This looks like the Warrior line. It looks like Warrior grade 1 and then Friendship Fairy here, the grade 2. I'm not sure, but we got triple inlet, 4 of this dragon for Bitadol, Gnoslum, They're playing for better doll into the Angel Ladder, which you kind of need to for this, because this is the grade 4. We got 4 of the new card, 3 go. It took me forever to figure out what this is, but this is Gaprig, because I can see the chicken here. And then 2 of this guy, which is really cool. This guy's really clutch in a lot of times for Magnolia, so that's kind of cool. What Alvin, because he's the best. Twinkin Fairy, yes, okay, that's what I thought. Which is alright. I like, you know, the fairy and the ride line. I haven't decided how it's gonna work out yet, but we'll see. This is alright. This is alright. It's pretty standard. I don't know how great this is. I mean, it's pretty good against certain matchups, but I don't know how meta relevant this is right now. I just know usually this is pretty good. Gnosos, I don't know if it's time for Gnosos to come back. Gnosos I feel like would work so much better in Magnolia Mask. You just don't have the CB in there. But yeah, this is pretty solid. No Alpin, which is good because Alpin sucks ass. Fuck him. This racist ass. Last time I said shit about Alpin, my stream crashed. So I'll leave it at that. Magel doesn't care if the board is nuked. You can make a whole new board. Yeah, you can. He's racist. Yeah, bro, Alpin is racist. He doesn't like grade 1s. His skill says specifically grade 2 or greater because he just hates grade 1s, bro. He's mad racist against grade 1s. I don't know what Philander and like all these other grade 1s did to him, but he just fucking hates them. He's just like, oh, there's a grade 1. I'm not getting any power from those. Nah. So that's why I don't like Alpin, because he's racist. Oh. And then really quickly, we have Lyrical to end this off, but unfortunately it's just Charmot with nothing different, honestly. Just basic ass Charmot. No Chris Rainless yet. This is kind of interesting that they're playing this. I really like this card. This is my favorite Lyrical card almost, because the art is really cute. That's interesting to see here. No Chris Rainless yet, no Marlene-less either. But maybe we'll see that in week 2. I've seen more people playing the deck now than before. This is just week 1. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. Just been a quick look at what things are shaking out for set 1 of the Divines era in Japan. You can go ahead and check out the Dixander site for yourself if you want to take a more look at some of these other builds, or maybe some of the past builds, or just in the future. I don't see myself doing this for like every week or anything like that, but I just wanted to take a look at what it's looking like for the first week. It's kind of what I expected for the most part. I expected, honestly, to see some more Raziels, but we did not see as many. But in any case, till next time, take care of yourselves and each other, play Vanguard, and have yourselves a damn good one. Cool. Sorry, just doing it. Gotta be like the cool kids and do a YouTube video in the middle of your stream. Alpin makes your deck not die to 1 defensive trigger. Yeah, but he's racist, bro. Yes, be for my boy Phil. Fuck Alpin, exactly, bro. Like, read the card and tell me he doesn't hate grade 1s. No dumb ranker chain, no mailing needed. Yeah. You were so professional. Thank you. So sorry, I have a ham sandwich that I'm gonna quickly devour. Let me put back here so I can see how disgusting I look real quick. And it takes everything takes. Shut up. I had 2 takes in the beginning and that's it. There's one thing I'm very good at. It's just off the cuff doing videos and not having to do multiple takes. Even though I often do multiple takes when I want to, but I can very easily just go boop, and just roll with it. But Lander's selling out. Oh no. I got so many of his. I got so many of that motherfucker. So many of him. Because I was like, $2 for one of the best cards in Storkea? Are you guys kidding me right now? So I have like, I feel like 16 copies of him or something like that. Ooh, $7. I have to get this. I said this last time for Morpho and I never got it. Because I think I need 1 more FFR. Why is Philander selling? Why is he sold out? No deck is playing this. What the? Oh, for Zorga? Is that what it is? Okay. That makes sense. Oh. The new Nectar Strike deck set? Interesting. I mean, I know he looks like a Musketeer, but not really. Of course, this fucking card. Thankfully, this gets reprinted soon, but yeah. There's no Cristiano's hype. Yeah, like exactly. The Cristiano's hype is localized exclusively in this stream, in this chat. That is the only Cristiano's hype that there will ever be. The entirety of Vanguard. Really? Is $34? Is that the Herminia card? Yeah, I fucking hate that shit. Which is really stupid. Because of the fact, this is so stupid. Because of the fact that you can just play, even though I know this is technically the better option, you can just play the Willissa gem from set 1, and it does literally the same thing but better because it goes into soul instead of taking out soul. But whatever. Buyouts despite being relatively niche because people suck ass. People are the worst and they suck. That's why. You can even run clean. Yeah, you do not need this at all. This barely comes up and it's barely useful. But you're running the gem right now. Yeah. Like I have both because I've had this for a long time, right? Because I'm a huge Armenia stan on the down low. So I always had this. I never got the FFR because, yeah, I fucked up. But I always had these, and I've tested it in Tramon, and it's like, 1, it's could have easily just been a gem. 2, this barely comes up, and I barely ever need it. So, and as soon as they see shit going up in price in Japan, they start ruining. Yep, exactly. Lovely, $36 on a place of Morphals? No way. No way, I don't believe it. There ain't no way someone paid $36. Someone got it for $1. Damn, bro. That's money laundering. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, especially now that they're seeing that it's not even played. They're like, oh, fuck. We fucked up. It was like never in stock. Yeah, I fucked up, bro. I gotta go back and find that stream, but this shit was $9. Look at it, $5 fucking dollars, bro. There's literally a stream where I was just like, bro, don't tell anyone, but I'm gonna buy 4 of these, and I never fucking did. And look at where we at now, bro. Fucked up. My biggest regret: Vanguard is not getting Morphle, so I cannot use her in any deck. You got 5? Oh man. Was on the set release? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, she dropped like crazy. $89 the week that she was revealed? Yeah. I literally bought something and I went to check Morpho and I was like, oh fuck. It was right before she was getting revealed. Everyone was buying her out. And I was like, fuck, I never got the FFR. Fuck. Sometimes work, yeah. Same. Reset. I just got it off from. I got a. What's it called? What's the word? I got a split for straight cap because I thought Misty Arc was gonna be crazy. So I got a split. So I already had 4 of these and I pulled a bunch more. And it costs you 50 cents. I got those from. I got a case, so I managed to get those. But oh man, I hate those things. There's still some lists. We just lost some lists that still play Marvel for some reason. Blackened. I honestly thought this was gonna be the cheapest set. Like all the cards from the set were gonna be cheap as hell. Because of the fact that this set was like $20 at some point. And the broken support in set 17. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I thought everything was gonna be dirt cheap. Because like this shit was selling like pennies. And then now look at how expensive everything is. Like, I'm glad I ended up buying a lot of these cards when they were really cheap. So I was like, this is really good eventually. But motherfuckers, $8 now. $15. $4. Are the best selling? Yeah, and I thought all the girls were gonna be dumb cheap. All the crits, because of the fact that like there was so much of this set being sold. Right? Remember when this was like $10 just for it to not be played in Luard? You dumbass. You dumbasses. Not you guys specifically, but like, I don't know. This was like a lie, and then everyone just dropped Minerva for no reason. Can't believe this is. I sold this for like $30 or something. I can't believe this is $20 now. Eternal Thunderbird. Hold on, let's buy this before it doesn't even get a chance. Oh, Thunderbolt. I said Thunderbird. I've got them for 2. Yeah. It's still just spike up or something? No, it's just because you can use it in Shiranuri. They do indeed not slay now. Apparently Aurora is cooking in Japan. Yeah, that promo is pretty good. I would not be surprised if like this and the Aurora cards start getting sold out. Or start getting bought out is the correct term, to be honest. Yeah, I'm surprised Greedon is as cheap as he is, because there's been a bunch of Greedon's hops. Like, it makes no sense sometimes. A bunch of Greedon's hops. And then the FFR for his card is 50 cents, 79 cents. Like, this is probably... It's been for the longest time. I remember I did the video for it, Done You Rest, where like if you measure out how competitive a deck is and how expensive it is, right, and you try to get like the max value, it's always Greedon. It's always Greedon, bro. Greedon, he's hot. I mean, I guess I like the suit, right? I like this version way more. I just don't like the way he was introduced when they did the fucking jump scare in that presentation, where it was just like, the Greedon mask, by the way. Anyways, moving on. That's the only thing I don't like about Greedon, but I'm sorry I have bad opinions. Okay, oh well. I'm sorry I'm not into fucking Greedon. I'm sorry I'm not into Greed Dong, but it's okay. Surprised this is a cent. Like, I people bought out Morpho, but didn't buy the fucking card that Morpho uses and that Veleno actually uses. Like, hello, people, make it make sense. What? Oh, I don't even know it's good. Yeah, it has so many tops, and it's people just don't buy it out for some reason. I don't understand, and they'll buy out all the other random shit. Darkseid's Flagberg. I don't know about Flagberg. Flagberg is maybe like set 4 Flagberg when everyone was sleeping on him, but yeah. Not hospital material for many people, yeah. It's okay. Who wants to run Gunfire Colossus and Chronogen? He is so bad. Is he? I feel like he's fine. It's just on hit counter charge, right? Like, he's not the best, but like, if you need counter charge, that's the card for it. You can call it out, right? You can play like 1. I don't know. I hate Chrono Jet, so I can't really speak. I can't really speak in like a good light for it. More donk for the Greedon enjoyers? Yeah, I guess so. There's more. Greedon is doing more than my baby ever could. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. I need to tweet this out later on, but I was gonna tweet out like I'm never gonna get taken seriously by Bushiroad to like cast or like do anything for like product reel or anything like that if I keep being the Barrow guy, because they fucking hate Barrow. So I can't even imagine the shit they think about me. Like, you see the shit they put Barrow Magus through? Imagine my dumb ass that's like, oh yeah, I love Barrow Magus, I'm the Barrow Magus guy. Like, I need to drop his ass and like pick up some other shit. I need to like pick up Raziel so to be like, oh yes, him, he's good. Fly him out to Japan or some shit. Cause like, or Thegria or something like that. I gotta pick somebody. I gotta dump him. I gotta break up with freaking Barrow Magus and pick a more sustainable unit that's not a jobber, but I could never do it. Gets shown in the anime all the time. That is true. He probably has more appearances. Him and Hexor probably have more appearances than any other like non-anime like main character deck. And even then, I don't know. I feel like he's probably up there with some of the anime decks, ironically. Leave a zero, get a hero. Yeah. Remember when the Dragon Tree Mockers was $7? Thankfully, it didn't get as bad as Japan, because in Japan it was like $20. But we knew about the reprints before they did, so the price was alright. Let's enter the Fated Clash. Yeah, I bet. Oh man, can't wait. Round 1, face Akina. We're like, alright, but my wish was trash. I Anyways, bro, fuck you. Go revive your dumbass sister. Oh, yeah. So I don't know. I thought some more of the stuff was more expensive, but some of it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand how this is so cheap when it's a double R and Greedon's top. So there was a tournament. There was, I think, a BCS where 3 Greedons topped in the same fucking event. But I don't get it. I don't understand how this deck has not seen more play. Let's take a look at yeah, this set. The girl set has been doing gangbusters, by the way. They're not. Okay. Fucking lyrical set 4, that set has been crazy. I wish I bought like I wish I had more stuff to sell from that set, because everything is expensive in that set. It's insane. Yeah, this is going up like crazy. I hope you all got your copies, because of Shiranui, even though not every list plays this, but I hope you all got your copies. Full Blast is actually worthwhile because they made it boring, which is ironic. This, I don't understand how this was so cheap for so long, and I don't understand. I bought up so many copies of this, but this was so cheap. I feel like it was cheaper, but this was so cheap. And I'm just like, how? This is like so good in like so many decks in premium probably. So I have a bunch of copies of this also. This in Philander, I got so many copies of just to be safe. I can't believe Ignis is $5. That is insane. Whoo! My god. Akina, sister is a barrel main, right? Yeah. I was thinking about that this past episode because I was just like, oh shit. She's the person that the I forgot what her name is. Was it Makoto was playing against? It was like, oh shit, she's the barrel player. Oh, no wonder she's fucking dying. Bushiroad would do that shit, right? They would make the girl that's dying from a disease and probably gonna die at the end of the season be a barrel player. Bushiroad would do that shit. Unbelievable. For now, I would go for Fernell if Cyber wasn't stupid. Yeah. The FFR was 13 to 18. Oh, I wish I had bought it then. I bought it for way more. Well, maybe not. I don't remember how much I bought it from, but I think I bought it for like 20, and I got all 4. He's so cheap. So like, damn, I thought he is viable. That's why I'm shocked that he's so cheap. But this is ironically more expensive. This, of course, has more applications in it, but yeah, this is probably the more expensive card. Everything else is pretty cheap, which is good. But it depends on the older Drag Jeweled stuff, because the older stuff was always really expensive, but it does get reprinted in like a month or 2. So, Enlarge, I've never said his name in my life because I don't know how to fucking say it. But yeah, this guy, Once I went up because they saw Solemn use it in Japan. That's so stupid. If that's the case, that is the most brain dead thing I've seen Vanguard players do. Like, how would you not think this card is usable? Why would you wait till fucking Solemn uses it and then be like, oh, of course, duh. Hard luck into turn 4. I mean, I still think the deck is really good, but yeah. I really want Niam, but people are saying Flam will probably be cute from Varga. I have no idea what any of this sentence just says here. I'm sorry. I have literally no idea. Oh, cut. Okay. Okay. Whew. Whew. Okay. This is very confused. I still don't know what most of these cards are. Hold on. Flam. What is this again? Oh, this guy. I think I'd rather him than the other guy, to be honest. But personally, but I can't say that last part. The Golvi part, that's the part I'm having trouble with. $40, yeah, let's see, yeah. So I gotta figure out how to fit him in your Aquaforce Premium deck. I feel like it's just an easy auto-include, but it's just, even just with the fact that it's 15k shield whenever you stride, like, and then you just call something, you just add anything from drop to hand, like, that sounds so good in Premium, but I don't know, man. Skylands, the Ketter's Psycho got bought out only because destroyed deck sets for Salome and Raging Form. It's pretty cheap now, surprisingly. I thought this was gonna be a lot more expensive, but yeah, you should get a lot of copies of this soon. This is gonna be gone. Is the alt art? Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna sing it to the floor. No, it's okay. You're fine. Just call it Water Boy. Yeah, essentially. I have 2 of these actually. They're like right here. I just got these. Oh, but I don't even know if I'm gonna use it. I feel like this is gonna be pretty good pretty soon, but I don't know. This card is really pretty. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, her. Yeah, she's really pretty. I wish I had her, but I really wish I had pulled this because I knew this was gonna be like the most expensive card in all of Overdress, but instead I pulled this. But I also pulled one of these. I bought a bunch of these because I thought I was gonna be using Welstra, and yeah, I'm part of the reason that this shit is gonna get so expensive. But yeah, because she was dirt cheap, and I was like, "There's no way this isn't using Welstra." Like that 16. I think, what was it? This was probably me, and then this might have been me, but yeah. And then for some point she went up to like 50. But then she's been coming back down. She might go back up again. I'm just solid, but solid isn't enough. Smolge. Vanguard is good, right? Right, bro? I mean, I think Vanguard is good. I really want this card so badly. The Seek for Richter. I think Vanguard is a good card. A good deck. It just needs like maybe one more good card and it would be really good. But I think it's still a good deck. I think it's one of the decks that's slept on. I'm not saying, again, it's tier 0 material, but I think it's a good deck. I think it's a really good deck. On Sam, but that violates you. That's fair. It's all right. I'll this is a safe space. Don't worry. No, this is still being served at KFC. I don't know, man. I feel like this deck is also good. Fergosa FR price going down hard. Yeah, I paid $10 for 2 copies because I pulled 2 of them, unfortunately. It took forever for Nava to be mid. I don't know about mid. It's a little bit above mid. I also bought this because I pulled one of these, the FFR version, and then I bought the other 3 instantly, and it's like $50 the last time I checked. This looks insanely cool. I wish I could get this. Whoops. Whoops, here we go. This looks so cool. This frame looks so freaking cool on this card. I don't know what it looks like in real life, but it looks so cool. This finally went down, which is cool. I have 3 of these in FFR. I need to get 1 more, just in case. I like that this is $28. I might get this because this looks kind of cool. She looks really pretty, but I'll never be able to afford her. Or maybe I could, but I just don't want to. But everyone in Nirvana community thanked all the gods for that Mirror came out to give him CC, and then Kandiva gets it in the same set as a common, yeah. And then they also didn't play it in that set. Yeah, I need to get myself one more for Lander. I can't believe I paid so much, even though this card looks really pretty. Ooh! Ooh, $70! Hello! Oh boy! Sorry for your ears, kids. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oof! Oof! I bought 4 of them at some point, so this might have been me. This might have been me because I just bought all 4 of them, and I don't see any 4 listings yet. So this is me. I got this for $13, I guess. Oof. Yeah, because I know I bought 4 of them all in one shot, and I was like, hell yeah, let me buy this shit ASAP. I thought I got it for more, but I don't see any 4 cells there. $70, $5 shipping. Whoo! I'm so glad I got that shit early. My lord. Let's see. Yeah, Santa Dios. I paid this for like $5 at locals. I'm glad it never went like super low. Yeah, so this went up. I got this for cheap also. I got it for like 16, but now, yeah, see, it was like $40 before because it jumped up. So this got bought out. Also, partly me, I bought this when it was really cheap, and then it jumped up. Looks good, dude. I can't blame anyone. Yeah. Do we expect the Asha Stride deck set to buy out? There is no Asha Stride deck set. You mean the Cecilia one for Neonectar? You know, it would be 24. That did not happen. She was for a good while. When I muted for a sec, he said you did this. You made enlarge, engulge. $70. I'm surprised the bug stuff was so cheap. I expected that to be a little bit more expensive, but I'm surprised this was $80. I thought this was cheaper, but alright. I want to pick up some of these, but I'm not gonna have the money. God, this is like $100. That's crazy. You did. I also have like, I think I have 4 of those FFR, and then I have like 8 of the normal version, because I was like, why would I not have this? Like, this covers Shokea is 5 different clans. Like, why would you not have this? But it's a shame that you got Kerm stopped by Olden last weekend. I think Olden's alright. I think he's a little bit too. They gave him too many restrictions, having different grades, but I think he's actually an alright deck also. I paid like $4, $3 for this fucking guy in FR, but now he's like $1. Ooh, that looks really nice. I don't want to get this. I don't know why this is so expensive. I was waiting for this to go down, and I just got it for like 2 or 3 of them for $4 each, but like it has not gone down. I don't know why. Like, it's a good card in the deck, but like the deck has not seen that much play, so I don't understand why it's so expensive. And like, she's cute and all, but like, I don't know. Like, that seems like a lot, and it's a cool looking FR, but it seems like much to me. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Sorry. I'm trying to find this. Does the Olden deck have the promo? Yeah, it just came out this month. Even Curly Madcap. So, sad that the Griffle 11 is the card I made Griffle playable, but it sucked all the fun out of Griffle. Nah, I don't know. That's ass. Let's get the next page. I think everything is gonna be common after this for the most part. Yeah. And then, you know, then we got Lyrical. Lyrical's doing gangbusters, even though it's recent, but I expect this just to be cheaper by now, honestly. Like, Stegrio's way too expensive. Yuika is about to be fucking $30. I don't know why the hell this is $20. This one is the one that's the most confusing, right? This is at least just Charmant one, but like, why the hell is this girl so expensive? Like, this is Sienna. Who the hell is playing Sienna? Show me your Sienna list if you're playing Sienna, but this card needs to be $15, because I don't understand. But anyways, I hate that this is so expensive because I want to get extra copies of this, so I don't have to swap it out between so many decks. and I got a case, and I only got like 5 of her, and I freaking hate it. But I really wanted to get this, but instead I got the Herminia one, which is cool. But I really wanted this, but this is the one I really want. I wanted this LSR, ironically, the cheapest one I wanted, and instead I got the third most expensive-ish. This is of course the most expensive. Not shocked. I'm glad this went down. I don't know why. This makes no sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How the hell is this $10 and this is $9, bro? Who is playing this deck? No one is playing this deck. I'm not saying the deck shouldn't be played, but like, no one's playing this deck. Everyone's playing this deck. How is this one the more expensive? Everyone's also playing this deck and it's $6. How? Make it make sense. It doesn't make any freaking sense to me whatsoever. But whatever. This I think is also really good to pick up. I didn't get any copies of, like, a lot of copies of this or this, which really sucks. The Rainbow Psycho Cat got so much more expensive. Yeah. Can Segway price go down, please? I was planning on building her in Luthecia. Oof, you need like Oreo her. Yeah, I guess she would be good in Luthecia, huh? The second market is Bizarre World. Yeah, like, and it said it's been out for like a month now. Like, I would understand if this was like week 2 or something like that, but it's been like a month. Hello. But oh well. This is another one that I don't understand is so cheap. It's gonna be the same thing where they're like, oh right, I can play this in like every Bermuda deck, and then it's gonna get fucking expensive. But I managed to pull one of these FR, but I don't want to pay $4 for another one. I really like the Penelope too. She looks really cute, but I don't want to pay that much money. Might as well just get fucking FFR for a Stagger. It's not that much of a difference, honestly. Yeah, I bought 4 of these, and then I pulled the I bought 4 of the FFR. I pulled 1 of the LSR, and then I play 1 of the normal one in the ride deck. So I have to somehow get the fucking Herminia LSR, which is impossible because it's actually sold out. I'm gonna see if it's available now. Some asshole put it up now that the deck is playable. But yeah, I really regret not getting it earlier, even though it was dumb expensive. But she's been, no, not that one. Not Enduring but Coming Beauty. Oh, there's actually some listings now. Yeah, when I checked before the second amount, it was just gone. $200. Thankfully, I only need 1 now, but oh my god, that's too... I can't. When is generally the best time to pick up singles? 3 days after the release? 1 week? 3 weeks? Usually wait a week after release. It depends. Right now, it's sort of shifted where definitely the week of the release, the same day of the release, like the set comes out on a Friday. Like between Friday to like Tuesdays, things are just start going down, and it'll be the lowest by like typically Wednesday, Thursday. But you should check immediately as the set goes up. I'm telling you guys this now. I've been wanting to do a video about this, but I don't want to fuck shit up for me, so I'm telling you guys now. You guys get the inside scoop. As soon as the set comes out, same thing with the pre-release. Check for the pre-release, because sometimes they'll be putting crazy shit up. Like, they'll put up FFRs for like $10 or crazy shit like that. So always check just to make sure, because some shit like that happens all the time. And it is pretty insane. But I really want to get the mermaid of this, but it's like $500. Well, that's not gonna happen. I got Charmant all decked out, which is really nice. Especially the FRs. Get your FRs as soon as possible. Specifically FRs. FFRs you can kind of wait on. Those tend to stay longer and go down. FRs jump up. I got this for like $2. It's $8 now. I got this like the first week for like $2. The pre-sale will always be extremely expensive for the most part. Sometimes you'll list something for really cheap. But as soon as the set is open, that Friday, everyone else comes in and the prices just collapse. Right? And then they kind of like do this thing like this. And then eventually after like the second locals, then it starts going back up and stabilizing. Of course, Japan throws it into flux because if all of a sudden, as the set comes out, they announce like, oh, this deck is getting support, then that'll, you know, mess things up. But yeah. Oh, Fennel. Poor girl. Would have been so cheap if it wasn't for Stegria. Pulls of packs are always got tier all levels of awful off. For some reason, every time I go to Shadowverse locals, I pull crap off the hard to position pack, and the dude sitting next to me pulls all the good stuff. I'm the guy that usually pulls all the good stuff from those packs. Actually, I had a pretty good streak going, but now that shop doesn't do card fight and Shadowverse anymore. Please do a financial advisory series for us Vanguard players. This feels worse than the stock market. That's specifically why I don't do those types of videos. Because one, I don't want to fuck myself up. But two, I'm super against the whole like stock market card game kind of deal that I don't want to encourage it. I want you guys to get your stuff, and me, more importantly, to get my stuff. But I hate this whole thing of like turning it into a stock market. I hate it so much. But yeah, there's a lot of like tips and tricks that you can follow to not get ripped off. I've been wanting to do that. I might do that because I have a lot of like new player videos that I'm going to be making like in April that I have planned. I might do a video like that where it's just not get ripped off and try not to make it lean too much into like a stock market kind of thing where it like fucks everything up for everyone else, me included. But to just not get ripped off. I'll see if I can maybe come up with something like that. I can't believe these are $25. That's insane. That is insane. Oh man, I should probably sell some of mine because I have a bunch, obviously. I can't believe this is $22. My god. Whew. Need to buy that. But yeah, the lyrical stuff always does surprisingly well, especially the commons. Like, even if you have commons, you should sell them. Because people will buy them eventually. It's very, very strange. To this day, I have random commons that get bought. I'm just like, alright, sure, whatever, buddy. I think that's about it. What's a random overdress set? Specifically overdress set that we can take a look at. And that'll be the last of my market watch that we randomly do. We did not test the thumbnail dude, so clickbait. We did not test the thumbnail. Oh, okay. We talked about him. I never said I was gonna test him. We talked about him. I forgot to say earlier, we're probably not gonna do any CFA today. It's probably just gonna be talking, but we talked about him, so no clickbait. How soon I get ripped off sounds better than the stock market tips. Yeah, that's all. That's my only concern. Just for you guys not to get ripped off. How to draw a card guide for Vanguard dummies. Sort of. Whose workouts at the beach? Draw for turn. Yes, no joke. I have been. I say a bunch of shit all the time because I just have literally a catalog of like random video ideas. But I literally have one of them that's like some sort of like workout while playing card games type of deal that I might do over the summer finally. But it's been on there for a while. All this strict TCG vendors hate you for using this, yeah. Oh man, I might actually end up doing something clickbaity like that. But I'm getting a little bit better at my clickbait. I don't do like egregious clickbait. I just do the kind of thing where it's like I do good clickbait, right? I think I do ethical clickbait, but even then, I don't know if what I do is actually clickbait. But I feel like I do ethical clickbait. But speaking of Shadowverse, really quickly, another set that did insanely good was I was gonna say lyrical again, the horse girl set. That did, or whatever a horse sounds like. That set did crazy good, crazy good. This set was ass in my opinion. This set is still great because you still use cards from here. This set was just hot ass in my opinion. This set I think is fire, but that's mainly because I like a lot of the cards in it. This horse set did insanely good. Crazy good. Everyone being stupid, like, oh, I hate women. Well, I guess you hate money too, motherfucker. Because this set is insane how good so many of these cards are. And are still seeing play. And how expensive so many of them are. Insanely good. I hate the fact that this dumb bimbo is $37 now, bro. And I don't know what else to play my chest deck because everyone else uses this for some reason. Apparently everyone paid $100 just to play this fucking card. I should have got it when it was $11. There was a point where she was $11. Like, oh, that's a lot. It'll probably go down. A dumbass. It never went down. But yeah. You know, you suck. Her said it made what made Forest good. It made a lot of things good in my opinion. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff. I feel like there's a lot of the Abyss stuff that just hasn't seen any play. But yeah, this set was really good. And then this set I feel like is also really good, but that's just because I like a lot of the stuff in it, like just because I like a lot of the specific decks like chess and heroes. But yeah, that's just me. Like I said, 3, I can throw 120 on Alice to play Fable Forest, which lives for 1 month max, or get anime stuff. Yeah, I still have to. I hate that I waited so long to get my 3rd Alice because I pulled 2 and I just need 1 more, and now it's just $40 ish. All right, we haven't got the Bang Dream collab in Vanguard yet. Damn. Bang Dream collab? Oh, you mean the like actual set? Yeah, I don't know if we're actually gonna get that. So, be honest. Anime stuff is $10 total and it works wonders with the Force horses. Anime stuff, I don't know what's in the anime for Force specifically. I just know it for. I just know when it comes to that set, I just know heroes and chess. That's the only thing I've been looking at. I didn't even look at that Abysscraft, and I supposedly play Abysscraft. I've also been like, I might be getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Marginally, just because like this Yubel stuff, and I've seen a lot of cool like lists that use these cards. And I was playing like Master Duel and stuff yesterday. So I actually bought like 3 of these in the spirit of Yubel, and like this actually jumped up a bit, which is kind of funny. As soon as I bought it, it was like, whew. But I really wanted to buy this set. I just never did. Cause I really like where is she? Like this, and then like the girl, the evil, the thing that this works with. I really like her and whatnot, and the Yubel stuff. I'm a sucker for anything around that sort. Yeah. I swear it works, Nation. Yeah. I played the new Ghost deck. I was not impressed. Yeah, I like Ghost, but I probably just play the same way like I always do, which is just super aggro, spam, fucking sanguine stuff. But yeah. All right, I think that'll do it for today. We'll turn that video we did into a video tomorrow. You guys can check that out. Whoever was here or whoever missed it, you guys get to see it on YouTube later. Look at the Battle Spirits prices. Yeah, I guess we can do that before I leave. Battle Spirits. I don't even know the fucking set that I bought. There are promos. Hello, Gundam. Oh, they did the Gundam set. Oh, I might. I might give Battle Spirits another shot now. Ooh, it was this one. Quake Invaders. I sold like every card I got from this, except like the Ant-Man stuff, and like I forgot what color it was that I kept. I kept some random color. Oh, but I sold like all this shit. Oh, it's about the same. It doesn't really change too much, but yeah, it's just crazy. Like this is like their, I think this is like their LSR equivalent, and it's $10 right now, which is crazy. This, I think I kept like just certain cards. Like I think I pulled this maybe, and I kept it because it looks really pretty, but stuff like that. But yeah, it's funny. This is the Evangelion stuff is coming up. Yeah. Kinetic ever does the reboot, I feel like it's gonna be like Battle Spirits. I don't know, I feel like Battle Spirits ironically is doing okay. It's just in different circles outside of Vanguard. Especially because they have like Bandai and stuff, but it's definitely the weaker of the Bandai products. But yeah. Must been ants in every thumbnail. It's ironic because I hate ants. Duel Monsters reboot crashed and burned so hard. Oh, I don't know if they had a reboot. I know it's still going strong in Japan, but you know, that's Japan. But all right, yeah. So that'll do it. Thanks everyone for tuning into this impromptu market watch. We did a lot today. We took a look at new cards. We theorized what new cards would be. We did a YouTube video where we took that new list. And we did market watch. I gave you guys some financial advice. We're doing good today. Pretty productive stream, I think. Yeah. But I want to say head over to bed, but I don't know. I'll probably, I don't know. I'll probably end up playing, play Switch. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, morning, noon, afternoon, night, whatever the case may be. Take care of yourselves and each other. Play Vanguard and have yourselves a damn good one. Someday I'll learn how to dance. This doesn't look so awkward.